Welcome to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, a homeschool mom, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience in the areas of elementary and special education. It's my mission to help you create lifelong learners and embrace a holistic approach to education at home. I'll be sharing practical strategies, inspiration, and resources to support your family. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, or balancing work and homeschool, you're in the right place to connect with a community that values education just as much as you do. Join us each week as we ditch the stress, embrace the joy of learning, and set your family up for a lifetime of success. Hello, friend. Welcome back to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, your home education expert. Well, last week I shared with you ways that you can simplify the holidays this year by releasing things that no longer serve your family. So think about those traditions that maybe you think you have to do because that's what you did as a kid or your husband's family did as a kid. But what if it's something that doesn't serve you and your family, or it just does not bring you joy? Is it something that you could let go of? Or is there something new that you want to add to your holiday season that is a new tradition for just your family? So I talked all about that last episode where I was talking about your peace and just creating a calm and joyful holiday for you and your family. So if you didn't get a chance to check out episode 97, I highly recommend you checking that out. Because as we enter into the holiday season, we have so much pressure from all different angles of we need to do this, we need to buy this many gifts, the holiday cards, the dinners, all of the expenses of all the things. And what are some of the things that we can let go of and say, you know what, that no longer serves me anymore, and I just need to find the peace and have that joy in my home. So check that one out. But over the next few weeks, I'm going to be sharing more activities for you that you can enjoy with your family this holiday season. So ways that you can really slow down this year, enjoy each moment. So those simple moments at home, cozying up, watching some holiday movies in your, holiday PJs or not, just regular PJs, hot cocoa by the fire. Maybe that's not for you though. Maybe you're like, that doesn't sound relaxing. Maybe it's making the homemade holiday gifts. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to share with you homemade gifts that you can make with your kids and maybe some without, and that you can gift to those around you that you love. I'm also going to talk about many ways that we can get the kids involved this holiday season. How you could be baking cookies. One, they could be helping right alongside you. There's your math, there's your science, there's your reading. Or while the cookies are baking in the oven, you can cozy up on the couch and read a chapter book and really dive in. So how can we intertwine all of the hustle bustle for the season, slow it all down, enjoy all the moments with our kids, but still make it intentional? We're going to be talking all about that over the next few weeks. I'm even going to have a special guest this month that is going to share some thoughtful and personalized gifts that will be perfect for everyone on your list this year. So stay tuned for all of that. This week, in honor of Kindness Day and Veterans Day, we're going to be talking about all the ways that we can give back. So for me and my family this week, we actually have been going through a lot of the things in our home, and we have been deciding on, are we going to donate these items? Are they items that we are going to, sell? Are they things that we could they still have value and we could put them in a Facebook marketplace and families could buy them at a much reduced cost? So, those gently used toys that you could pass along to someone And then you could use some of that cash for your holidays, right? So it could go either way. It could go both ways, really, where you're helping out a family. And I'm thinking right now, my daughter's Barbie dream house, right? How awesome would it be to be able to gift that to a family where they're able to purchase it at a really reduced cost. Plus, guys, it's already put together. They don't even have to put it together, right? So it's a win-win for everyone. It's helping to clear the clutter in our house while also putting a little cash in our pocket for our holiday expenses and being able to have that gift at a much reduced cost. So think of things. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how can we give back in many ways where we're just gifting and giving. But think about, do you have items that you could sell and you could, put a little cash in your pocket for the holiday season? So I'm going to share a story with you. So we are doing a decluttering challenge. My friend Marta and Erica and myself are hosting a decluttering challenge in the Facebook group or in a Facebook group. And that link will be in the show notes below that I can share that with you. So every day starting on November 1st, we started getting rid of one item a day, right? Or one item at a time. So on day 1, it was 1 item. On day 2, it was 2 items. Day 3, 3 items, and so on, right? So by the time we got to day 7, we've already decluttered 28 items from our home. And now that may sound overwhelming or that may sound refreshing to you, right? It could go either way. So, and it doesn't always have to be these huge items, right? I could go into my bathroom and say, you know what? I haven't used any of this skincare line that I purchased that I thought was going to be great, and it turned out not to work so great for my skin. How can I gift that to someone else, or do I just need to get rid of it, right? And that could turn into 5 items right there by being able to release that skincare, right? And what that's doing is it's making room for the things that need to come into your life, right? We're releasing the things that no longer serve us, and we are allowing space for the things that we need to be welcoming into our home. So for us, I have been doing this, right? The Declutter Challenge, I've done it a couple years now with Marta and Erica, and now, hosting it the few past years actually. And I love it because it does help me to really release some of these items that I've accumulated over the year that I'm like, I don't need that anymore. I need to make more space for one, the things that are coming into the home throughout the year or for the holidays, right? Or I just need to clear the clutter in my home for my mental capacity and really for space too. So the kids have been doing this. They have been going through their room and saying, like, what are things that no longer serve them anymore? And that is something I'm going to talk about in a live Facebook group in the Decluttering Challenge Facebook group. So like I said, check that link out. That will be this week coming up on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So all of that information is here in the show notes. But the whole point of that is we've been able to go through our home and say, you know what are some of the things that we can get rid of? And over the weekend, we were able to put things out by the curb, and the families in our neighborhood were able to come around and pick things that were, going to be helpful for them. They no longer serve us anymore, but they were going to be something that another family needed. For example, we had car seats. We had 4 car seats. My kids now are 8 and 10, and they have now outgrown their car seats, which, guys, that is a whole emotional conversation in itself, right? To look back and see your babies that you saw in those, rear facing and then forward facing and then all of the, booster seats and all the stages in between. And now they're sitting there like a big kid, like their feet on the floor, the seatbelt fitting them right where it should be. And it's just like, oh my gosh, how did we even get here? Right. And so we were able to gift these car seats to 3 families, actually. So one family was able to take 2 of the booster seats. One family was able to take, or then 2 other families, 2 individual families were able to take 2 other car seats, the full car seat for their kids. And what a blessing that was to be able to allow another family, or not allow, but to see another family reuse something that has served us for so many years, and now we're able to pass it along. So this is the giving that I'm talking about, right? What are the items in your home that you could put into maybe a Facebook group in your neighborhood, because we have a neighborhood Facebook group. There's also a Facebook group that is like a buy nothing kind of a Facebook group where it's more, not just the neighborhood, it's more about the area. And you can post items in there like gifting, and I've gifted so many things in there, pots and pans and like the car seats and just so many different. This time it was a lot more items from the garage. We had the kids' toys and basketballs and skateboards and baseball tees and just all different things like that. But it was just such a great feeling to be able to put that out there and then to see these families come by and just be so excited to find this new treasure that's going to now serve their family. So think about those kind of items that we can release that we've maybe been holding on to, and what can we pass along? So I know for us, I just to be honest here, when someone posts free things in my neighborhood, to be honest, I like to go check it out. I like to browse and see what maybe I would be interested in, right? So I have collected along the years, probably the past few years, we have collected bar stools that people were giving away. We thought that they would fit at our bar. They didn't fit there. They didn't match. We needed like 4 to 6 stools, and there was only 2 stools. So we had those bar stools, and we had them in storage, in our storage space, probably for a year, maybe 2. And it was like, you know what? It's time to release this. This is not serving us. This can serve someone else. And let me tell you, they are very happy that they have these new bar stools now, right? Same thing with like a shelf, that like the cube shelves. I picked it up in the neighborhood thinking it would be great for Ella's room. She's like, wasn't really what I was thinking about. So we gifted it, and man, someone else was just so happy to be able to receive that. And it's just such a blessing to be able to just continue to, use it or not use it in our case, right? But then to be able to put it back out for someone that is going to use it in a meaningful way. The one lady that stopped by and picked up the car seats, she was picking up booster seats for her grandkids, and she picked up the baseball tees and a basketball, and she was so excited to be able to pick up these items that for me, it was such a relief to get out of my house, right? To clear the clutter in my house. And she was beyond thrilled to be able to get these items. And honestly, I know for me, sometimes I'm like that as well. Like, oh, I love this. Like we just were gifted these huge nutcrackers that my kids can paint. Like it's a crafting, they're wooden nutcrackers that they can paint. And I was literally so excited because I was like, oh, look at this fun little art project that we're going to have now that someone just gifted us. And so think about those kind of things. What are things that you can release from your home and gift to others in need? The other thing you can think about are books and clearing the books. I know I've done this many times now. I keep a lot of my books for educational purposes for my home education curriculum, as well as my academy, as well as my live events. So I do have a lot of my books still. But if there are books that my kids have read and just, been like, this was an okay book, we pass it along. Or ones that they're not really, into that much, we pass those ones along. And there are the little libraries that you can put books in. So then that way, a book that you and your family read, someone else now can read this book. So that's something to keep in mind is you can clear your books out. And I know there have been many seasons for us, and we're kind of in that season now where we're transitioning out of certain ages, right? And, they're just, like I said, the car seats, right? We were in car seats for 10 years, and now we're finally to a spot where we don't need any car seats anymore. The same thing with like the outside toys, some of them they still have and they play with, and then some of them they're like, nah, we don't really need that anymore. Same thing with the books. I know I've gone through seasons where I have, had to go through our books and say, you know what, we're past this now. We're past the board books, and now we're past the leveled readers, and now we're past, the early chapter books. Now we're getting into more complex chapter books. So keeping in mind those kind of things, you can be able to clear the clutter in your home by going through one area at a time. And it could be maybe a closet, one closet. I know for me, next weekend, I'm tackling my linen closet and I'm tackling my own personal closet. Now, I should have tackled that probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, but that's okay. Life got in the way. And my linen closet, think of these kind of things. One, we can gift towels and blankets to homeless shelters. You can also donate them to adoption, like pet adoption. I'm just trying to think of veterinarian offices maybe, but I know that a lot of pet adoption facilities and organizations always need towels and blankets to be able to help make it a little bit more cozy for the animals that they do get in. Or if they are nicer blankets or sheets or things like that, maybe to shelters, to your church maybe. So keeping those kind of things in mind. I know when I go through my closet, I already have an entire bag of shoes that I'm going to be donating to my church. I also have a ton of clothes that I'm going to be going through and donating them to my church. So keeping in mind those kind of things as well, going through one space at a time. It's not about being overwhelmed, because in this season, the holiday season, we want to reduce the overwhelm, right? There's so many things going on. How can we reduce that overwhelm? So by saying, you know what, for 30 minutes, I'm going to tackle this closet, or I'm going to open this drawer in my bathroom and say, you know what, I'm just going to go through this one drawer and go and clear it out. That's what the Declutter Challenge is all about. It's all about starting slow. And once you get that momentum, you'll be surprised at how quickly those items add up to be like, oh my goodness, I just released a ton of items. Like today, we probably released 50 items from our home just by putting it out to the curb of our, the end of our road, and by posting in 2 Facebook groups. Now, I did have to do a little bit of coordinating and communicating with people, but what an amazing feeling that was. So those are some ways that I just encourage you to, kind of declutter your home a little bit and then pass along the items to those in need. Other things that I want to share about would be, the gently used toys, the books, giving them to families in need. We've talked a lot about that, but also making cards for residents in nursing homes, even shelters, if they would accept cards as well, but even veterans. So Veterans Day is coming up November 11th. And one of my favorite things that I love to do is I have a Veterans Day card in our EduPlay Learning collections. And I love sending this to the kids and allowing them to just draw a picture or say thank you to the veterans, and being able to give them to veterans in their lives that they know, whether it's family members, neighbors, a teacher, whoever that may be, a friend, someone, just to say thank you. And I know we've done this before in our neighborhood where the kids wrote out the Veterans Day cards and they delivered them. And I can't tell you the amazing feedback that I received from the families. They said, thank you so much for thinking of them and remembering them. So it can be very, very simple. If you are interested in receiving or just grabbing that Veterans Day card that we send out, join the Home Education with Ease Facebook group, and I will share that link there for you guys to grab the Veterans Day card. And then that way you can fill that out and you can deliver it to all the veterans in your life. One year we went out, and really I should do this all year long, okay? Where I should have Veterans Day cards or, it really can be Veterans Day cards in our car with, it could be a piece of chocolate, it could be a bag of chips, a water, it could be anything, or it could just be the card, right? It doesn't need to be anything more. I know the one year that we did it, we made little bags with the extra Halloween candy that my kids had. And we put a card, we got a card and we put that little bag of candy. And when we were at a restaurant and we saw someone with a veteran's hat on, we gave it to them and we said, thank you, thank you for your service. And that was just so special. It was so special to see my kids being able to do that. And just the smile on their face when they received these little cards and packages. So that's something that you can think about. Nursing homes, shelters, veterans, just making little cards for them. And it could be a little care package or it could not, just a card and I'm thinking of you and thank you. Another thing going around this time of year is angel trees, where you are buying gifts for families in need. So if you are interested in doing something like that, your church, if you belong to a church, they may have something like that. If not, you can start asking around in your area of, hey, where are some ways that we can support and, donate to a family in need? And that may be, new items, or that may be gently used items. So those are some things that you can think about as well. You could even go through some local charities. Toys for Tots always has, drop boxes throughout the neighborhood, not throughout the neighborhood, throughout your community. There might be one in your neighborhood, but I know that my daughter, Ella's dance studio, they have a box and you can drop off new toys there. And then they would deliver them to children in need. So keeping that in mind for, the holidays as well as when you're shopping, maybe you're picking up a few extra gifts. So then that way you can gift them to families in need. And one of the things that we do as well is put out a box or a basket for our delivery drivers. So I get way too many packages here, and I'm okay with that, but I do like to thank them. So I will put out a box, and I'll take a picture of it because I'm going to put it out this week. But I get a little basket, or one time I even just did a box, like an Amazon box, and you can wrap it with wrapping paper. So you don't even need a separate basket. And then you're going to put that outside and put some snacks in it and drinks in it. So for us this year, Alex made trail mix for his entrepreneur fair that he did. And I bought trail mix from him. So that's what's going to go in our basket this year, and bottles of water. Some years I do try to put chocolate in there, but it does get awful hot. The sun shines on our front porch, so the chocolate melts. So chocolate for us is not always a great idea, but you could do bags of chips, you could do Gatorade, you could do granola bars, you could do, trail mix, nuts, things like that. Maybe not nuts if you are worried about allergies. But those are some things that you can put out and leave a little note and just say, thank you so much for your hard work and delivering all my packages, because man, what a blessing that is, that I don't have to go to the store and search for an item that I know exactly what I want, right? I mean, as much as Amazon there could be so many negative things, but if I know that I need something specific, an ornament organizer, I pop that into Amazon, multiple options come up. I find the one that I need and boom, it's at my doorstep in, a few days. I'm not going to lie. I do love that feature very, very much. So giving them just that, little gift to say, thank you so much for your time. Thank you really for making it so much easier for me this holiday season because I don't have to go out and fight all the hustle bustle of the stores. I don't have to load my car and unload my car. It gets delivered right to my door. So I absolutely love that. And then think about how can you make some treats or bake some things for neighbors or your friends just because, and just say, I was thinking of you. I know I had a friend that said to me, hey, can you send me the brownie recipe? I do sourdough. And she said, can you send me the sourdough brownie recipe that you did because they were so good? And I said, yeah, sure. So I sent her the recipe. And later that week, she goes, I don't know what happened, but I made the brownies and they were not good at all. Not sure what I did wrong, but they were not good. So sometime, I would love some of your brownies, So out of nowhere, I made brownies the day that I knew I was going to see her. And she was ecstatic to be able to have these brownies that she was craving, that she tried to make, and it didn't work out the way she expected. So those little things that's the kindness. That's what we want to show our kids. Those are the random acts of kindness, right? That we want to show our kids and say, that's how we want them to be. Do we want to raise kind kids? I know that I do. I want them to be the kind kid. I want them to be the kid that's always thinking of others. I want them to be the person that never leaves anyone out, that is being aware and, just being a friend to everyone. They're going to know how to do that from you. When you're modeling that kindness, that's how they're going to learn. So keep that in mind this week and this holiday season and the whole year, really, honestly. But how can we, participate in random acts of kindness this holiday season and year long? Is it something, can you purchase, the coffee of someone behind you in line? You hear that all the time, right? Oh, that guy paid for your coffee behind you. It's never happened to me, to be honest, right? But you hear it on the radio. I've heard it multiple times, right? Where there have been, maybe someone goes to the coffee shop and they're ordering their coffee and they say, hey, you know what? Let me get this person behind me as well. So whatever they order, put it on my tab. So then when the person comes up, their coffee's already paid for. And what a blessing that is. Or if you're in a drive-through line, when you go through the line, you pay for your order and then you also pay for the person behind you. And then it can be a ripple effect. I have definitely heard that where it just continues this ripple effect. So how beautiful is that? So keeping those kind of things in mind, I know finances could be tight this year. So I also am aware of that. And these are things that, we could do to be helping one another, wherever we're at, right? Financially. And it could be, a cup of coffee, or it could be, like I said, gently used toys or clothes or books, or it could be your time where you're making a treat, or, you are just helping a friend out. Maybe that's it too. Maybe you know someone that is just, either struggling because of the season of life that they're in, or they, how can you help someone? Do you just need to go over and talk to a friend? Do they need help decorating? Do they need help wrapping their gifts? How can we be of service to others? How can we give back? And how can we show our kids that kindness as well? Because all of these things our kids can totally be a part of and do with us. They can help. And I encourage you to do all of these things with them, right? I encourage you to make that thank you box for the delivery drivers with your kids and tell them why you're doing this. I encourage you to go through your children's toys and books with your kids. So then that way you can tell them, this has served us and we're ready to pass it along to another family that it will now serve. Now, trust me, I do know that sometimes our kids aren't ready to let go of things. And depending on what it is, and depending on if you have space, you either keep it and wait until they're ready to let go, or you let go of it, when they're not around. I know for us, we had the space, we had the ability to say, you know what? If you're not ready to let go of that, that's okay. We're going to hold on to it just for a little bit longer. And when you're ready, you can let go of it. That goes for stuffed animals and books, and because they have a very good memory when you go to get rid of that one obscure little toy that you think no one's going to remember. They remember that stuffed animal that you won at the fair, or, those little toys that you think no one remembers. But so I hope that these were some items or some ways and activities that you can give back this holiday season. So I'll go through them again, making cards for nursing homes, shelters, veterans, going through, specific areas in your home and how can you pass along things that no longer serve you, your clothes, linen closet, blankets, towels, different things like that. Even food. I didn't talk about this, but like your pantry. Can you go through your pantry and say, you know what? This food is still good, but no one likes it anymore, or we just are not going through it fast enough. And can you donate it to a local food bank? Can you just gift it to someone that's in need? So that's something else that you can do, is go through your food or go to Costco or buy food and take it to the local food bank. So those are some ways that we can help families in our community as well. The angel tree. And if you need resources for any of these, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can always email me at Christine@eduplaylearning.com. All my contact information is in the show notes below, so you can always reach me many different ways, that through social media or email, always in the Home Education with Ease Facebook group as well. And you can donate those gently used toys or books, leave that thank you basket for your delivery drivers, bake some treats and deliver them to your friends or neighbors. And then just those random acts of kindness, of sometimes even just waving to someone and giving someone a smile makes someone's day, because you never know what someone is going through. So keep these things in mind as we are going through the holiday season, all the hustle and bustle. How can we give back to our community? And really, I think for me, just finding that peace and that joy during the holiday season. It's not about what can we do, but how can I give back to others? So there's two Facebook groups that I would love to invite you to join. The Minimalist Game, Releasing Life's Clutter to Allow Deeper Fulfillment. So this is the Decluttering Facebook group that I was talking about. I will also be going live later this week on Thursday at 2 p.m. All of that information and the link for that Facebook group's in the show notes. And just a quick little recap of what that group is. So we started November 1st. We're ending November 21st. And every day we are getting rid of clutter in our home. So you do have time to join and catch up, if you will, right? Because the more you participate and the more you're interacting, one, you're releasing clutter in your home, but also there are prizes along the way. So the more you participate, the more friends you invite, you will be entered to win the prizes. So that's always a fun little bonus there too. And then I also invite you to join the Home Education with Ease Facebook group. And I would love to know, what is something that you can do to give back to your community? I would love to know your ideas. It may be one of the few that I talked about today, but there's so many. And I would love to know if it is one of those few that I chatted, that we talked about today, or if it's something totally different and you could be giving me a new idea, you could be giving the moms in the group a new idea. And just all the different ways that we can give back and support our community and show our kids ways to be kind to others. Well, thanks so much, guys. I hope that you are having a wonderful start to your holiday season and hope you have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to the Home Education with Ease podcast. I hope today's episode left you feeling empowered and ready to take the next steps on your home education journey. Your support means the world to me. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend. For even more resources, be sure to join the free Facebook group, Home Education with Ease, and visit eduplaylearning.com to explore programs and subscription kits. You can find the links and any other links mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. Remember, you're not alone. This community is here to support you every step of the way.